Why should we want to deepen our connection to our subconscious and our conscious if we can't fully separate or control the subconscious or the conscious? Because why not? Don't it feel good to know who you are? Don't it feel good to know how to troubleshoot your own problems? When things show up in your life, you know what to do to calm you down, to regulate your nervous system. Having to want control over your mind gives you a sense of safety, identity, and power in a world that often feels so uncertain. You guys, it's your girl B. Welcome to Inner Thoughts. I hope you guys have started your day off right. It is a lovely day outside, even when it's cold as hell, gloomy as hell. The energy for me is high, and I'm gonna own it when I walk outside. So, whatever is going on in your day, don't let that determine the outcome of the rest of your day. Today's thought for today is subconscious versus conscious. What does subconscious or conscious mean to you? Your subconscious are your automatic assumptions and reactions hidden and running in the background of your mind. Your conscious is what creates your thoughts. Your subconscious is what stores them and turns them into your beliefs. The subconscious mind can sense and see beyond what the physical mind perceives or attempts to control. Now, why do you think that we can't control our subconscious or our conscious? And how do we separate both our subconscious and our conscious? Well, I'll tell you how. You can't. Your subconscious mind is a part of you. So there's no way to separate them, both conscious or subconscious. Look at it this way. The subconscious and the conscious operate like partners running your life. They work as one, as a team, and as a system. In order for that system to work, the subconscious and the conscious constantly have to talk back and forth to each other in order for things to run smoothly and automatically. Here are ways of, or here are examples of how they show up. When describing your partner, when deciding what you want, when deciding what to focus on, what you choose to believe, what goals to set, what plans to make, how to analyze situations, or how to give directions. This is where the conscious takes over and demands order and structure in your life. For an example, when describing the conscious, I want to start a business. I'm going to stay calm in stressful moments. So how does the subconscious interact with that or interprets that? The subconscious absorbs those instructions that the conscious commanded it to do and turns them into habits, emotional patterns, automatic behaviors, beliefs, intuitive guides, and deepest desires. For an example, when describing subconscious, you continue to show up for your business consistently. You naturally start staying calmer because the subconscious adopted the pattern that now has become repetition. So they're both equally important, and you see why you cannot separate them because they're one system, they're one team. They act as one. One cannot behave without the other because you need the conscious awareness to choose your path, your decision. That's where you have full autonomy, full control of your life, how you perceive it, and how that interprets your reality. But then the subconscious makes the path smoother and automatic because of the constant feedback that you tell it or provide it on a daily basis, right? So the examples that I gave were based on how you show up for your business. It starts with a thought first. So that thought can come about through admiration. You can see a person with a business and you like their business, you like what they've produced from that business, or you like the rewards that they get from that business, or you like the lifestyle that it has provided them from their business. So it tells the subconscious, or it programs the subconscious to start thinking differently. right? Because now I have something of interest to focus on. That's how the subconscious works. So if you feed it based on something that you may see someone else does, so now a change comes about to the conscious. Because at one point you didn't care about a business. You wasn't thinking about a business. It was never in the cards to pursue that. But now that it is, the conscious absorbs that and it feeds it to the subconscious. So now the subconscious is aware of you wanting to start a business. Your subconscious starts to rewrite your algorithm. It starts to alter your algorithm, and that's all you start to think about is what are the next steps to running my business? What can I do? So you start showing up every day. You start becoming what? You start building what? Repetition. So now you want to constantly do those things. Any way you can get that business started, you're going to achieve that. You're going to accomplish that. So if we know that we can't really have full autonomy or full control over our subconscious or our conscious, so then why do we feel the need to still want to have control over our subconscious, conscious, or our inner thoughts? For one, it's damn sure to reduce anxiety. Two, to feel safe. Three, to create order in such a chaotic world that we're in, whether it's externally or internally. Four, to feel in charge of our life direction. Five, to avoid repeating past pain. Six, to feel aligned with your identity. Seven, to improve performance or success. Eight, to regain a sense of inner power. And number nine, to reduce internal conflict. If you're able to control the outcome, then you might just be able to predict the future and how you move about, how you show up, how you perceive, how you look at things. Having to want control over your mind gives you a sense of safety, identity, and power in a world that often feels so uncertain. So let's go a little deeper. Why should we want to deepen our connection to our subconscious and our conscious if we can't fully separate or control the subconscious or the conscious? Because why not? Don't it feel good to know who you are? Don't it feel good to know how to troubleshoot your own problems? When things show up in your life, you know what to do to calm you down, to regulate your nervous system, to fully be able to get a hold or a grasp of yourself and to prevent or stop you from doing something that you probably don't want to do or shouldn't do. Because understanding them, I think, gives you influence. Even if you don't have total control, you still are the driver. You're still the pilot behind the wheel. So it does matter. It matters because awareness reduces autopilot. Even if you can't shut off your subconscious, noticing patterns prevent them from silently running your life in the background. It matters because many emotions come from the subconscious, memories, or beliefs. Knowing this helps you to heal instead of just react. It matters because it helps you to reprogram automatic patterns. You can't remove the subconscious, but you can update it. That's the part of having influence. Through repetition, healing, awareness, and intention, it matters because it improves intuition and decision making. A strong connection to both layers help you to think logically while trusting your deeper insight. It matters because it helps support healing and self growth. Old wounds often sit in the subconscious. You can't change them until you understand that they are there, that they even exist. It matters because it brings your mind into alignment. When your conscious goals and your subconscious beliefs stop fighting each other, life feels easier, clearer, and more purposeful. I want to share something with you guys. Here's a simple test where you can identify what state you're in so that you can develop more awareness internally when things arise in the mind, whether it's due to somebody else or just what you may see, perceive, and witness, and it triggers you to go into a certain state of conscious. So here's a simple test of how you know when your spirit, your subconscious, and your conscious are talking to you. When a thought appears and is calm and clear, it's most likely your spirit. When a thought appears and is emotional, familiar, and reactive, is more likely your subconscious. When a thought appears and is logical, overthinking, and analytical, is more likely your conscious. That's a little food for thought. Put that into practice and see what you get, and see how more aware you become of self so that you are more in control of how you respond and how you approach things in life. And if you're more aware of self, then you can almost figure out how to piece together all of those moving parts, or to at least see where all of those moving parts are showing up in your life as disturbance, as toxicity, as anger, as lack of, as low self-esteem, as insecure, as it can be whatever. So try that simple test out, and I hope that works. Now let's get to it. Let's get into some strategies to help you guys to get back to your old self if you don't recognize who you are. Let's figure out how to create new habits for who you are trying to become in the future. Let's also give you ways of putting new tools to add to your toolbox so that you can access these at any point in time of your life, right? Something that you permanently implement in your life where it becomes routine, it becomes practical. So let's get into it. So, what are ways to deepen your connection to the subconscious and conscious? One, create consistent habits and routines. Repetition builds new subconscious programming while strengthening the conscious discipline. Number two, limit negative inputs. What you watch, listen to, and surround yourself with heavily influences your subconscious programming. Number three, use meditation to quiet the mental noise. All that chaos, all that talking, all those different personalities, all those different voices that are going around your head, disrupting your day to day, is keeping you unfocused, is keeping you distracted, is keeping you depressed. A calmer mind makes it easier to sense deeper thoughts, intuition, and inner guidance. Number four, stay curious instead of judgmental. Always ask yourself why versus instantly judging to where you instantly make it your fault. You instantly become harder on yourself. You instantly tear yourself down. All you're doing is weakening the spirit. And eventually the soul is going to bend to that and become that. And then you're no longer going to know who you are. Curiosity allows you to explore the mind's layers. You have layers to that mind. So be curious to understand why. Ask it more questions. It's dying to know. It's dying for your input. It's dying for your effort. It wants your inclusion. It wants your feedback. So explore. Help it to evolve. Stimulate it. While judgment shuts them down, it weakens you. It destroys your confidence. It keeps you here instead of here. It strips you. It makes you think less of yourself. Doubt becomes the new norm. That opens you up more to vulnerability. And vulnerability can be dangerous if you don't know who you are. So people can take advantage. People can see right through that. So always be curious versus destructive. Number five, pay attention to your triggers. Emotional reactions reveal subconscious belief that needs understanding and healing. This is what I mean about being curious. If you want to understand why does this trigger you to respond that way, then you create space to truly heal, because not only are you going into it with a positive mind, you no longer care about what you're being perceived as. You're also creating trust between your mind, body, and soul, the subconscious and the conscious, and the spirit. I think when you're mindful of your triggers and you are aware of what your actual reality is, then I think you tend to hold a mirror up to who you truly are. Because when you're still are in a place where your reactions are still dictating how you move about life, then you're not truly free. You're not truly in control of your subconscious or your conscious. And what you're doing is avoiding understanding the true essence of that trigger and why it gets you out of your character and why it keeps you in a place of fear or danger. And the goal is to get to a place where you respond differently to those triggers because the body keeps track. And what I mean by the body keeps track, the subconscious keeps track of everything that you do. And its job is to keep this program running while also protecting you at all times. So what we tend to do is suppress those triggers. Those triggers are AKA traumas. And we just go on about life. And when something familiar or exact is observed through the conscious or felt through the conscious, the subconscious picks that up. The subconscious is fed from the conscious and it goes into work. It puts in that work to protect you. But that protection can look like you shutting down. That protection can look like you avoiding. That protection can look like you being angry. That protection can look like you being emotionally unstable. So I think paying attention to what causes these triggers and why we're still in a place of inadequacy or weakness or brokenness, hollowness, numbness, emptiness. It makes you look at things differently. So wanting understanding and seeking understanding create space to fully heal properly because you're willing to face the darkness head on. Number 6, repeat positive statements or affirmations. Repetition gradually rewires subconscious beliefs and aligns them with conscious intentions. And number 7, engage in healing work. And what I mean by that is inner child therapy and shadow work. These approaches uncover deep programming to help you to integrate them, to become one. You can't separate them. No matter how much healing you do, what has happened has already happened. It's in the past. You have to learn how to move forward. You have to learn how to adapt. You have to learn how to adjust. I didn't say to forget. I didn't say to pretend as if it didn't occur. What I mean is that you have to learn new ways of being now after you accept what has happened. What is now your new norm? What is your new reality? Things happen to us on a daily. That cannot stop you from existing. That cannot stop you from becoming, doing, receiving. If you still are waking up every single day, then that means that it's not your time. That means that you still have a chance to make a difference. And I don't mean in your career. That could mean you getting up out the damn bed. It can be that simple. It can start with the smallest thing. It can be self-improvement, whether you're reading, whether you desire a new physique, whether you're cleansing your soul with what you consume through food, through water, through music, through anything. And I think we all are similar, very different, but similar. We only differ by DNA, but we all share the same commonalities, the same struggles. And I think that all your subconscious wants, all your conscious wants, all your spirit wants, all your soul wants is inclusion, is attention, is fuel. If you're not feeding it properly, it's going to suffocate. Pour as much as you can into yourself because no one is going to do it for you. Take every opportunity that God presents to you and give it the utmost respect. Don't take the small things for granted because that's what can really be the difference. The smallest detail can be the difference in what sets you apart and what evolves you and what gets you to the next level in life. So I hope this helps. I hope it did help. Let's elevate together, man. On that note, I always do a thought of the day to end today's topic or thought for today. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish it with repetition and emotion will one day become our conscious, which is our physical realm. In other words, our reality. On that note, it's your girl B. We out. Until then, y'all have a blessed day. See you next time. Oh, and subscribe, follow, comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. It's your girl, B.